What's up, guys? This is the first episode of the Peninsula Beacon, brought to you by the San Diego News Community Group, right?
San Diego Community Newspaper Group.
San Diego Community Newspaper Group. My name's Matt Dykes. This is Tom Melville.
Hello.
Yeah, Tom is the editor of the paper.
I am the editor of the Peninsula Beacon.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. And we're having an exciting week at the Peninsula Beacon. Yeah, it's so exciting that we had to do a podcast about it.
Exactly. So just to give you guys a heads up, Tom came on my podcast a couple weeks ago, and he threw this idea my way to start doing a podcast, video cast, just to get the information out there on a couple of different platforms, rather than just the Beach and Bay Press and the Peninsula Beacon.
Mm-hmm.
So every week we're going to go back and forth from the Beach and Bay Press to the Peninsula Beacon, just bringing you the top stories, and tell us what you guys think, and hopefully get the word out there a little bit more.
Yeah, we're just going to run down a few topics of like the top stories we're covering in the Peninsula Beacon. And as you said, we're going to alternate just like the papers alternate. So next week is Beach and Bay Press. And Beach and Bay Press covers Pacific Beach and Mission Beach in Mission Bay area. And the Peninsula Beacon this week covers Point Loma and Ocean Beach.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you want to just start off?
We'll go. So first topic is the scooter ban on the boardwalk.
Okay, so on yesterday, the city council rejected the boardwalk ban.
So it's still good to go?
Yeah.
So the scooters are good to go?
Yeah, so what happened is Lori Zaff, who's your council member for District 2, which is, Ocean Beach and Point Loma and, of course, Pacific Beach and Mission Beach, she put forth this emergency ordinance. She thought it was going to fly through with no problem. And the city council, 7 members voted against it because it was like these members who are more inland, like Mission Valley, and they're more like downtown. Those guys all voted against it. And, the coastal people like Barbara Bree and, of course, Zaff, and I can't remember the other one, but they voted for it. Okay. And she was sort of like, really surprised. And it was a little shocking because usually when there's anything that's like has to deal with like public safety, and that's kind of the way they worded it, that this was actually a public safety issue because the people are riding these scooters. They haven't been trained. They're not wearing helmets. Some of them are riding, 2 at a time.
Yeah.
And it's a crowded boardwalk. Especially it's going to be even, more crowded in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how, like, that boardwalk, it's really narrow at certain places.
In between, like
Crystal Pier and down by, like, World Famous.
Exactly. And then it opens back up.
Yeah, it opens up a little bit. And then, like, down by the other area that's kind of dangerous is by Mission Beach by Belmont Park. Where there's just like a lot of activity there because everyone's like walking around right by that
it's
area.
Like you have the little lull
the Ventura
Boulevard,
whatever it is, Ventura Place.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of kids running back and forth across the boardwalk who aren't paying attention. And the people who rent these scooters, they're not trained. They don't realize how fast they go. And and they start having fun, and it is fun to be on those scooters.
Yeah, it is.
But they might lose control a little bit, and then like all of a sudden you're like in a crowded area and you don't really know how to maneuver it, and you can like run into people. So I guess there's been several incidences, especially in Mission Beach, where people have been hit. And I saw a video that was actually on the Mission Bay Path area, where it was like this couple was sharing a scooter, and then these. I guess I'm assuming it was a couple that had, their own scooters were in front of them, and this person tried to go around. They hit the girl, knocked her like way off the scooter. Her head hit the pavement, and she was like on the ground. And I guess she had to go to the emergency room.
Yeah, probably.
She could have had like a skull fracture or something.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy about those is that for the scooters, those of you who don't know this, and if you live in Pacific Beach or OB, wherever they're at, is they're pretty strict, I guess, with the helmet law. But the thing is, they covered themselves because if you actually go on the app, they'll send you a free helmet.
They will?
Yeah.
Oh, which one?
I know the Bird scooters will do that. I'm not sure about the line, but I know Bird will send you a free helmet.
Wow. That's nice. How are they making money, though?
That's what I have no idea.
Isn't it like $1 for like an hour? Or what?
It's $1 to rent it, and then I think it's 15 cents every minute. That's the one of them. I'm not sure which one it is, but... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're definitely taking our city's around here by storm. Mm-hmm. I would say that for sure, and it's definitely, I think, hit the ground running.
But hit the ground rolling?
Yeah, rolling, I guess you could say. But I think also you have to look at the other side of things is those places that are extremely overcrowded. Uh-huh. I mean, you can't even bring your dog on those places, like, between certain times. Right. And if you ever ridden your bicycle or ridden a skateboard or anything, everyone's like, on your left, or anything like that. So it's I can see where it can get a little annoying.
Yeah, especially like where like the water bar is, and then down to like world famous that area right there.
It's so
if
tight.
They could like just ban any kind of vehicle
just from right there
somehow and make you go around, because that gets so crowded. And when I ride my bike there, I kind of like just have to walk my bike. Still on it,
because you're about to fall off if you don't.
Yeah, because I don't want to hit anyone. But one of the things people don't know is the boardwalk actually has a speed limit. It's 8 miles an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
how fast do the scooters go?
Scooters can go 15.
Oh.
So that's one of the problems. Oh. And even like when I ride my bike, when I hit like an open area, I'm going faster than 8 miles. I hope I am. 8 miles an hour. Yeah. I hope I can pedal that fast. So that is a problem because, as I said, people are going a little too fast and they lose control. And also there's an issue with, what is the boardwalk? Is it a road? Is it a sidewalk?
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's illegal to ride a motorized scooter on the sidewalks. And it's illegal to ride them on the road without a helmet.
I guess it's that gray area.
So it's actually like classified. I think it's a classified Class 1 bike path, which is what this emergency ordinance was trying to resolve.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't have like an actual ordinance in the bike path because right now, if you're under 18, you have to have a helmet, but if you're over, you don't.
Oh, okay.
But they don't. I don't think the motorized
fall into that.
Yeah, like the motorized vehicle isn't even covered right now. So that's what ZAF was trying to get at with this emergency ordinance, which she was turned down by the rest of the council. And she was shocked. If you saw, there was some video of her like right after the vote, she came out and she was like shell shocked. It was funny.
Yeah, she probably thought it was a shoo-in.
Yeah, she was like, I can't. I don't even know what's going on. Yeah. Why would they vote against that?
Yeah, but for those of you scooter goers, the scooters are here to stay. So.
Well, I mean, it actually went back to committee.
So it did.
They're going to revisit it later. Yeah. Oh, so they still might come out with something.
Yeah.
But you should wear a helmet. I know you look like a dork when you wear a helmet.
Yeah, you should.
But even on the boardwalk, because even if you're not going 50 miles an hour, you can hit something and lose control, and it's cement out there, and you can crack your head open.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So be safe.
Yeah, wear a helmet. Next,
no one's gonna wear a helmet.
Yeah, no, it's because no one's gonna want to walk around with it at the bar or anything like that.
That's true. Yeah. What do you do with it?
So next topic, I thought this one was actually pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. You want to go away with it?
Oh, sure. So every year in January, they do a homeless count. Mm-hmm. And it's various nonprofit organizations. And I actually did it back in 2015. I went out with them. And you go out at like 5 a.m. and you have like a designated area and a little map. And you have like a list of like, this person is homeless. Is he sheltered? Mm-hmm. Does he have like some sort of makeshift shelter, or is he just like out in the open?
Do they know you're counting them or no?
Usually they're sleeping, because you go out really early and it's still dark. Mm-hmm. So we went down part of the boardwalk by like Mission Beach, where we actually found people like sleeping on the seawall, the sand side of the seawall.
Yeah.
And we saw, by Belmont Park, there were some people. So it was interesting to see that there's still a lot of people like, when you're asleep, that they're out there and they're exposed and everything, and it's cold, and this was like January, so it was like a cold, kind of misty morning.
Yeah.
And these people are out there, and one just had like a tarp over them. So every year they do this count, and it usually takes a while for them to compile the data, and then they come out with the report. And this year's report said that there was a 6% fewer homeless people than the previous year. One of the weird things, though, was the homeless veterans actually went up a tick. I think that went up like 3%.
Did they ask or is that?
Yeah, you can go up and ask.
Okay.
If you're a veteran.
Okay.
And you're really not supposed to interact with them when you're out there counting them. But so they figured out that the homeless veterans were actually up a little bit, but the actual just homeless people that are out throughout the county, this is a county-wide vote, count, has actually gone down a little bit, which is good news. They didn't break it down, or at least I didn't find breakdowns of like exactly what it was at the beach. Like if like Pacific Beach
there's X amount here,
if like Pacific Beach had like a little bit less, or it was about the same. I'm assuming it's usually about the same. But they did put up the temporary homeless shelter, the tent in the Midway area, which was like a transition that was more for veterans. It was a transition area where you could stay there for a few months and kind of get on your feet.
Yeah. I know they do. Like when I was in the Navy, they did they used to do it at Balboa. They used to do like the 3 days. Right outside of Balboa Hospital, there is a high school field, and they set it up. And if you're a homeless veteran,
it's like San Diego High School.
Yeah, it's like the veteran stand down.
That's where the Chargers used to play.
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
When they first came to San Diego, they played at that field.
They played at that field?
It was called Balboa Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, they set it up for like the veterans, and they set them up like tents and stuff like that. I used to work it when I was in the Navy. I used to like volunteer for it for a day. But it's really, that's
the naval hospitals.
The naval hospital does
right
that. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's interesting. Man. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So what does this mean? They use this data to get federal funds. So San Diego County will use this and then like apply for different kind of grants and stuff like that.
To get when you say apply for grants, is it to get money to help the homeless? Okay.
Yep, because the county and other nonprofit groups are the people that go out and do these counts, and they're the ones that are applying for the grants and everything, especially these nonprofit groups, and they actually go out and do like all like the groundwork and stuff, and go out and will give out food or give money to churches that give out food and stuff like that, and actually go out and feed people and help people and get them off the street, or if you can. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna let you take the next one, because this one I was a little confused reading about, so if you can give us a little bit more information about it.
This is the the Citizens Initiative. So this lobbying group has come together, and they've put up this ballot initiative, and that's if you're like when the Chargers were doing to get a stadium built and stuff like that, there were all these people getting signatures. Like you walk out of Vons and you're like accosted by someone.
Exactly.
Sign. And you're like, I don't want to sign anything. Especially when they ask for like your address and stuff. You're like, no thanks.
And then you get a knock on your door like 3 days later.
But this ballot initiative is endorsed by the tourist industry. It's endorsed by a lot of local businesses. And what it's going to do is it's going to put this, it's going to raise the tourists. It's basically like a visitor tax. It's kind of like the hotel tax. When you go on vacation somewhere, especially in the United States, and you go to say you go to Chicago, and your room is $90 a night, but then you get the bill and it's like $150 a night, and you see it. When you look down through your bill, you're like, what is this? What is this? It's all these different occupancy taxes. What they're going to do is they're going to raise occupancy tax, and it proposes a 42-year increase in the city's visitor tax, and they claim it'll raise $6.4 billion over the life of the measure.
Oh, wow.
So what they're going to use that money is to expand the convention center. It's going to pay for the convention center expansion. $2.02 billion for homeless services, and $604 million for street repairs.
Wow. And that's over 40. That a 42-year period?
Is a 42-year period. Okay. They're going to raise all that money and put that money back in the community. If it passes.
Okay.
As far as I know, they still don't have the amount of signatures they need. So they still need to get a certain amount of signatures to have it on the ballot. And then when you go vote in November, you have to vote for it.
Okay.
And, basically it's like, you're taxing visitors to help pay for your services and to help pay for your community, which we kind of do, we do that already, but we're just kind of making it a little bit more expensive.
For people to come here.
For people to come here, it's not just tourists, but it's whoever's here. You know, if you're just here on business or whatever.
We need to pay the sunshine tax.
Yep. so we're kind of like making them pay for our stuff.
Yeah, that's smart though. I think it should be that big. Yeah. They say what America's greatest city, right? Is what they call, or something like
America's finest city.
America's finest city.
I think it's the greatest city, but
But yeah, no, that's interesting that that's going to be the hotels and everything like that in the community, helping build the community from people coming in visiting and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, they also project. I can't remember how many tourist jobs, but they like project like a certain, like 7,000 tourist jobs a year would be, generated because they'd have more money because they expand the convention center.
It's true.
And so, I mean, that's the plan.
It's always the answer that gets people more jobs.
More jobs, and it's in a way it's kind of like free money because we're not paying for it.
Exactly,
but like the detractors would say, oh well, they'll have their convention somewhere else, or they'll go somewhere else. Like people who are going on vacation, they'll go to San Francisco instead of going to San Diego. But I imagine San Francisco's occupancy tax is probably twice as much as San Diego's.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, you budget in San Francisco is what, like $500 a night?
Oh yeah, and that's for like a hole in the wall place
if you want to stay downtown. But that's great for the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so our next one we have is the Peninsula Planning Group voted unanimously to send a letter to Liberty Station developers, McMillan Construction, I'm guessing that is?
McMillan Companies,
using them to redevelop the North Chapel and allow parishioners to worship there unless another use for the site is determined.
Right. So North Chapel has been there since around Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Back when Liberty Station was the Naval Training Center.
Is it in Liberty Station?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when the city kind of handed over the Naval Training Center to McMillan Companies.
Oh, okay.
To develop it into what it is now, and they renamed it Liberty Station.
Okay.
All these historic buildings had to be preserved, but inside you can, create, restaurants and
like
commercial space, and now they have like the art district. So like, if you ever went to Stone Brewing there, which is beautiful, right?
It's gorgeous.
That used to be the mess hall.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's just an amazing space,
Yeah, it is.
And
it's huge. The ceilings are so tall.
Yeah. And so like those were the barracks when those so like where there's like little art studios now, that's where the barracks were and stuff like that.
I always tell everybody when I bring them to visit, I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but this is the old Navy boot camp and stuff like that.
So this chapel has been there for like since 1941, I guess. And a lot of servicemen, got married there. They came back.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of meaning to it.
So and it still has active parishioners. I think it has 2 active church, like a Methodist church or something. I don't know. Different sects of Christian churches that still use it, and with a bunch of parishioners, and they're lobbying the city and trying to like not get this changed, because basically in the charter that McMillan signed is they can make this church, this historic church, as long as they preserve it, into a commercial property, and that's what they're going to do, because it's not getting enough use, because it doesn't get used that much during the week.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So they want to, to them it's just like another property that they're going to redevelop into something else.
Other people, it means so much.
But yes, so people has like, obviously, very historic meaning, and maybe their grandfather could have got married there or something.
So is that going to go into a vote, or is that?
No, it's not. I mean, they can do it. It's basically right now. It's these, like the parishioners and other local groups are pressuring this company, saying not to do it. And they're trying to get the city to intervene, but the city already kind of signed off on it. So I don't know what the city can do. But they can. Well, as everything, right? What do you do?
Yeah.
Last resort, you get a lawsuit going.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what they're.
That's probably
that's where we're going down that road.
Interesting.
It would be nice for them just to. I mean, as people commented, like at the Peninsula Planning Group meeting, and people have commented online and everything, and there's actually an online petition.
Oh, there is.
By one of the church groups that uses it. I don't have it here. I should have, but just kind of like Google North Chapel and everything like that, and I'm sure that'll come up. But what people want is, just keep it, a church. What's the big deal? There's so many restaurants already in Liberty Station.
Yeah.
So like you get people, when you go to any of these like planning group meetings or town council meetings, sometimes you just get people yelling from the audience.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, how many restaurants do you need in Liberty Station? I mean, it's all basically
true.
It's like a ton of restaurants, some art galleries, and then they have like some dance groups.
Yeah, and then plus the more restaurants you put in, it takes away from everybody else too. I like the with the market they put in there.
Oh, the Liberty Public Market. Yeah,
I think that was a cool spot.
That's very cool. Yeah, I like that too. It's
I feel
always
like a lot
packed.
of people don't know about it though, even though it's so packed. Like, oh yeah, the Liberty Market. They're like, what's that? And I'm like,
well, people. What's crazy is once you like live something like you moved here, right? Did you live anywhere else?
No. Well, I mean North County, Camp Pendleton, but
right. But once you got into PB, you kind of became a PB guy.
Yeah,
right?
you don't leave.
You don't really like explore. You don't go down to Point Loma.
Yeah, you don't venture out. You
don't
leave the bubble. Is what I call it.
It's a nice bubble. It's
cool
here.
It's hard to leave.
But yeah, even in Ocean Beach, like I'm over in Ocean Beach, and I find myself, like I'm going somewhere to dinner, and I'm like, I always forget. I can just go over the hill to Liberty Station, and it's just like. Yeah, like so many choices. They have that pizza place there that's so awesome.
I used to like Slater's, but they've kind of themed off from me. I love it. And then Soda and Swan, I love over there.
Oh,
I don't know if you've ever been there. The meatball place. Oh man,
yeah,
phenomenal.
That's a cool space.
It is. That's awesome. What I like. It's like that new modern look, but old school feel that a lot of places are doing to that because you have the outside look and stuff like that. I didn't know though that they had to. They had to keep the outside of the building the way it looks. I didn't know that.
Well, even the inside. There's part, you can't really screw around with it because
I guess that's true.
You have to keep it, the historical part of it
and make it work. Whatever.
Yeah, and that's why I like a lot of them, like the Lot, that movie theater that's there. Oh, it's kind of like built like outside. They built like that cube.
Yeah. Okay.
And then inside they kind of have to build around it or inside of it. Okay. So it's like here's the wall, and then like a foot in is like the other wall.
Movie theater there.
And
that's what they converted, or like a gymnasium or something like that.
No, I think it was a theater. It was like a theater, not like a movie theater. It
but
was
like a play theater.
Yeah, like you would go and see plays and stuff and like whatever, any kind of lectures.
Interesting. Speaking of plays, though.
Oh yeah, so I thought this was interesting, since it's like in the perfect spot. Yeah. So this local couple.
It really is in the perfect spot.
I know. A few years ago, they bought the Ocean Beach Playhouse, kind of revived it.
Okay.
And like
where is the Ocean Beach Playhouse?
It's on Newport Avenue. It's down. Oh gosh, I get confused.
It's like so. If the strip goes this way, it's away from the beach, though. Correct.
It's a little bit away from the beach, but it's like middle, I'd say, of Newport. Okay. It'd be on the north side of Newport. What is it near? Is it by the Joint? I think it might be down from the Joint a little bit.
Okay.
But I can't remember.
Yeah, either way.
People
Newport there know where it's at.
I mean, Newport's not that big.
No, it's not big
walk
at all.
down Newport and you'll see the sign. They usually have like a board out front, saying, what's coming up. But Hair, the musical, is going to be in the Ocean Beach Playhouse. It's starting June 1st. It's going to run all through June. Mm-hmm. And it's just... like the perfect play because, it has like the hippie vibe.
It's Vietnam era, right?
Vietnam era, yep. It's, and it has the song Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In, all that stuff. And, it's about, let's see, I have it written right here. New York hippies struggling to balance their lives against the Vietnam War's public toll and the upheaval within the sexual revolution of the 60s.
Yeah, it's in the perfect spot though.
It is. It's such a cool vibe there, and like people,
so much hippie.
People want it to be a hippie place.
Yeah,
so yeah. I mean, it's a perfect.
When the new stuff comes in, they like to keep it very hippy dippy because that's the vibe that it gives off there.
Yeah, because they protested Starbucks coming in. They didn't want that.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you keep like in your own little community, you keep local businesses. People who live in the community. And you shop there, and the money stays in the community. And then, of course, the Target Express, which is planned to go into the former Antique Center.
Really? That's what they're making it?
The antique center is gone. Everything's out.
I went there for the whole show. I didn't get anything, but I went there for it when they were doing the end of.
And it's been they tried all different things. Like the real estate broker was trying like anything but like a big box or anything like that. They said maybe a bowling alley. They said anything. They were trying anything to get in there that wouldn't. But nobody could because it's such a big space. Yeah. And nobody wanted to use it. It was just too big. And so Target, which has like a Target Express in I think in North Park or
I'm not even sure.
Hillcrest over there.
Seen a Target Express, I don't think.
Excuse me, yeah.
Dumbed down version of
It's a mini Target.
Oh wow.
So they're gonna put a mini Target in there eventually. I mean that's the plan. Mm-hmm. There's a sticking point and this is kind of weird. This is very Ocean Beach thing. So the antique center usually closed at 5:00.
Okay.
And when you've been there, it has like that little parking lot.
Yeah.
And there's parking is really bad in Ocean Beach. It's at a premium. So they came up with this deal with the South Beach Bar. The one that's overlooks the parking lot right by the pier.
Yeah.
So after 5, South Beach Bar gets the parking lot.
Oh.
And that's like. I don't know if it was like in perpetuity. I can't say that word. In perpetuity?
Mm-hmm.
Perpetuity?
Propriety? No. I don't know what we're But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they have this contract, and Target would have to close at 5:00 because of that parking situation.
No way.
So they're trying to work out a deal. Because the South Beach would still have the dibs on those parking spaces.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, if you didn't know this, if you go there after 5:00 and you want to go to that bar, you can park in those spots.
That's gonna be so nuts.
So Target's trying to work out, the deal with the bar. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Someone's gonna get paid. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah. They're gonna pay him off.
But
that's something people don't even know that. Like if you're driving there and you see those, like by the antique center, and you're like, oh, look at those spots.
Parking for antique center only.
Yeah, but then you're like, after 5, you can park there and go to the bar.
Yeah, that's a cool little tip.
Yeah,
if you get down there, because the parking in OB is terrible.
It is. Yeah, they need more bird scooters down there. So you could just take the I've seen people. Have you seen people taking the scooters like from OB to PB
in their cars or just riding them? Oh yeah.
That's a great idea. You could just smart. Zip over the Sunset Cliffs Boulevard Bridge there over the river, and
it's nice. They're convenient. I have to admit, they're convenient.
Yeah.
Just look on where's one at. I think it's going to make Uber a little irrelevant too and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes left, so. We're working on a story, too, which we saw in the Atlantic. Was it the Atlantic? I don't know. Somewhere we saw this story. People who charge the scooters.
Yeah.
So that's they're making a living doing this.
Oh, I looked into it as a side
gig.
Yeah, you did.
So you know about this.
Yeah, you get paid $5 a scooter and you just drop them off.
Yeah. So so there's like an app so you can see like what scooters need to be picked up and where they are.
Yeah.
And you get paid more, I think, if it's like more difficult to find it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is what I read in the story. So if someone threw a scooter like over the cliff or something, and you
go and get
it, that's like a $15 get.
That's smart.
But like the ones that are like right on the street are just like $5. But as long as you bring them back, you charge them, bring them back.
Put them where they need to. They call them bird nests.
Bird nests.
That's what they said they call them.
So people are making money, and they're making like $500 a week doing this.
I think
it's
I read that somewhere today. It was either today or yesterday I read that. That's why I was like, I'm going to just look and do it just on the side.
There's like but part of the story was like it was like cutthroat in
San Diego. Okay.
Because I guess once you scan it, it's yours. So like you would get out there and you scan it, and then some people hoard them. So like they scan it and they hoard it. And they like keep it in their apartment or house or something, and then it goes missing. And once it's missing, then it's like you get more money for finding it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So when you see these people out there gathering up these bird scooter or the other ones too, the what are they, Lime bike or Lime scooters?
Lime scooters.
they're like making money doing this. Yeah,
I've seen like guys with their Hondas just packed full, like the handlebars hanging out the windows and stuff. It's nuts.
I see the guys, with like them stacked on the scooter, like they're riding one scooter and then they have the scooters stacked up.
That's
like,
smart. You take a bird to go pick up the other birds to charge the birds. That's nuts.
Yeah. Well, so that's a cool thing to look out for.
Yeah, it is.
You need like a
side
hustle there for you. You have to beat the kids though. I think it's like a lot of high school kids doing it.
College kids trying to get beer money and stuff like that. But that wraps up our first episode. I think it went pretty well.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked a lot.
Yeah, but no, that's why we're doing this, Tom. Get your voice out there. But I'm just here to assist in the drive. But guys. So. This is going to be a weekly thing, like we said earlier. Peninsula Beacon this week, first week. Next week's going to be the Beach and Bay Press, and then we're just going to go next.
Just alternate.
Alternate every other week, and we're going to be on YouTube and then iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are found.
And SDNews.com.
And SDNews.com, of course.
Right.
And then if you haven't already, go to SDNews.com and you can subscribe to our email and everything. And you get the the daily email about what's going on in the community and stuff like that. And you'll be able to find all our links and everything. So it should be good.
Cool.
But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Till next time. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, guys.